So once again, the free market shakes hands with each other and basically circle jerks one another in an effort to preserve the rich up here and the poor down here. I'm going to link you to an article below about how Mark Zuckerberg recently bought a house, or should I say leased a house, and he got a loan, a very large loan, and now basically he's going to pay off in monthly fees the house, even though we all know Mark Zuckerberg's a billionaire and could easily afford any house he wanted. But he figures, hey, why not save money and continue to be a billionaire instead of just a millionaire? So what this really comes down to is essentially the housing market is very cruel to everybody, except of course the rich. Oh sure, the rich are willing to wheel and deal with Mark Zuckerberg, willing to give him low rates and a loan whenever he wants it, but the people that would actually need those things, oh, fuck them. And they'll hide behind this facade that it's just market efficiency, that, oh, well, because Mark Zuckerberg's rich, he can be trusted to pay his fees and things like that. He can be trusted with his loans and shit. That's not the point. How do you know someone's trustworthy just because they have money? Let's face it, look at all the underhanded shit Facebook is responsible for. Do you really think that guy's trustworthy? I wouldn't trust him with my dog, let alone with that much money, let alone with a house, let alone with more property under his belt. So, that's a bullshit argument. It's just straw men. The fact is that they're just being nice to Mark Zuckerberg because he's a fellow one percenter. He's just one of the fellow elite, and they want to keep him the elite. Let's put it this way. You do not want to piss off someone of that magnitude. If you are a, mortgage company, if you're an insurance company, whatever, it's probably not in your best interest to fuck with Mark Zuckerberg. Because he does own Facebook, which is an integral part of first world communications. So, you don't want to start a fight with that. Yahoo made that mistake, and look where it got them. So that's what basically it comes down to. The rich kiss each other's asses both because they can't afford to not to, and because it benefits them indirectly. And the rest of us have to suffer. The rest of us have to suffer so that these rich assholes can live it up. I mean, let's see here how much that house was. $5.95 million. What house could possibly cost that much? I mean, I know that a nice house is going to cost more than, a little rundown house, but $5.95 million, seriously? There's just no excuse for that. But because he has the money to piss away, he's going to pay it like that. And where's the money going to go to? Is it going to go to you, the workers, the ones that are going to be roofing that house, the ones that are going to be cleaning it up as maids, the ones that are going to be, picking up his garbage when you're the garbage man? No, it's going to go to the mortgage companies. It's going to go to the bank loaners. It's going to go to the capital owners. It's not going to go to the workers that maintain the capital, the ones that actually keep society running. Now, a little something I learned was the difference between trade and debt. And this may be our greatest weapon against moderators such as Mark Zuckerberg. What I learned was that when you are given something, it is a debt. Like, let's say they gave him a loan, or they give him a house and he has to pay back in fees. That is a debt. He is in debt to them because they gave him something and they expect something in return later. A trade would be you trade something for something else immediately. It is an immediate switch of things. So debt is the presumption that they will pay you back in some manner later. Now money as we know it, dollar bills, coinage, things like that, are currency for debt, not necessarily trade. Even though most people would be dickheads for, to prevent it from trade, there is nothing legally to stop someone from asking for chickens or, mangoes or whatever as trade as opposed to debt. Dollar bills and national currency only work on debt. Therefore, we as, the proletariat, we as the members of the internet, need to start demanding we get paid back for our debt that they have accumulated over the course of our labor. For example, I working for YouTube, and YouTube is in debt to me. I make content for YouTube under the presumption that they will pay me back later via the ads you see below. So, that means they are in debt. It is not a trade. And, I am pretty satisfied with what I get now, even though it's nothing. But the fact is, they give me a percentage, blah, blah, blah. And, if it's enough to live off of, hey. So, that's the deal. And that's the way we need to make that more apparent. We need to make it more apparent that we as the members, we as the people, are the ones contributing, not the capital owners, not the moderators. For example, like when Steve or Mood or anything thinks they can ban me from 4chan or 4chan, or Mark Zuckerberg thought he could ban me from Facebook, they weren't giving me anything. That was not a debt in and of itself. They were not giving me Facebook. They were not giving me 4chan. That was public domain at that point. They opened their doors and said anybody can come in, and they just made that site accessible to everyone. I was giving them something by contributing, by giving my opinion, by giving articulated speeches such as the one I'm giving you now. I was giving to them. They are in debt to me, not me in debt to them. Do you understand now? Do you understand how this works? The whole value of labor theory. So, if anything, Moot, Steve, Mark Zuckerberg, all of them owe me something. I don't owe them shit, because I've been giving to them under the presumption I will get something back in return, and I haven't gotten it in return. Now, I can't just say that I want their heads on a silver platter or some shit. That would be a trade. But I can demand some kind of monetary compensation because of the debt that they owe me. And therefore, I think I have both legal and moral grounds to sue the fuck out of whoever I want to, as far as moderators are concerned, and get money back for what they've wrongfully taken from me. I am in the right here to say that as someone that gives good commentary, as someone that gives, an interesting perspective, someone that gives artistic value, someone that gives you an unbiased opinion, someone that gives you the news, I am giving that to you under the presumption that you're going to respect me, you're going to give me my freedom, you're not going to infringe on my freedom of speech, you're not going to harass me, you're not going to censor me, and you have failed to do that. So I expect some kind of reparations in return. I expect something to equate to the value of what you haven't given me that I demanded in the first place for your debt. So that's how capitalism works. It's not a good system, but that's the system you have. That's the system you're dealing with. And if you don't know how it works, then don't fucking talk about it. Don't talk about it like you know anything. That I'm just lazy. That I'm just crazy. I don't work hard enough. Blah, blah, blah. I know more about capitalism than you ever will because you don't want to know. And it's because I know so much about economics and all the voodoo practices of, all these pseudo-intellectuals that it pisses me off so much, and why I'm so militantly against capitalism. Because I know it's a conspiracy amongst the rich to pat each other on the back. I know that by the very foundations of the system, it requires the most amount of people to suffer and die. I know that by the very tenets of its principles, it just encourages robbery and murder and rape and just evil. It's just pure evil. It is a religion of evil. It's entirely built on hurting other people to benefit yourself and only yourself. And if you're not going to educate yourself on that fact, then you have no business fucking talking to me. You have no business talking to anybody. Because you have put the wool over your eyes, you've purposely shut off everything and live in your own little autistic bubble, and then you want to act like you have some kind of legitimacy. You don't. There is no reason in the world for Mark Zuckerberg to be getting a loan. There is no reason in the world for every company to be bending over backwards for him when this guy's a fucking billionaire and can afford anything any which way. If anything, people should be treating him like shit, not me. I'm not rich. I'm not a billionaire. So, where's my loans? Where's my, flexible rates where, I can pay just a little bit every month? Where's my, subsidies? Where's my too big to fail? I don't get that. And, why not? As someone that is poor and is obviously at least somewhat intelligent of a guy, aren't I entitled to something to boost myself up so I can reach my full potential? I mean, that's what we want, right? We want everyone to reach their maximum potential. That way we have the most for our buck. That way, everyone can be an inventor and an artist and this and that, and we can have the most of everything. Gets to have the best of everything, because once everybody's at their maximum potential, the world is our oyster. But no, that's not how capitalism works. Capitalism doesn't work by giving to everybody the potential to do the most with their skills or their dreams or anything like that. It's about accumulation of wealth. It's about accumulation of power. And the only way to maintain power is to kill everybody else, metaphorically speaking, but maybe sometimes quite literally, because that's why you have wars, and that's why you have gangs, and that's why you have, white-collar crimes and things like that. There is a lot of despicable and sinister acts that are required to maintain capitalism. And nobody wants to see it. Everybody wants to pretend like capitalism is just fine and things will work itself out. And whatever problems there is, it's because of that goddamn government. Government has nothing to do with this. This is just the very nature of the political and moral system that you advocate. And when it stops working for you, suddenly you want to blame a third party. There is no third party here. That is the system itself. That is what it will naturally come out to. There is no more land to exploit. There are no more people to exploit. You have fucking sucked it dry. People in the third world are starving and dying in the streets. The land has been completely plundered. The fish are washing up on shore dead. The birds are falling from the sky. Everything is a radiated hellhole. There is nothing left for you to blame. You have used up all your excuses. You have taken advantage of everything for so many years that there's nothing left. All you have is this fucking dead rock and your own straw man after straw man, walls of them, walls of fucking straw men, about how it's the socialists, it's the baby boomers, it's the hippies, it's the liberals, it's this and... No. It is your moral system. It is your religion. You have a bad religion, so stop it. So, that's really all I gotta say. If you don't believe me, like I said, check the link below, and I guess I'll see you later.